So there's a forum on Facebook that's been around for quite a while, 5 or 6 years, and they have their own website. They have several moderators, and it's the Sports Card Scammers Exposed. The whole point of the website is if somebody doesn't make a payment, somebody steals a card, that it gets posted on there to let others know that stay away from this person because this person is a scammer and I have proof. And the moderators were great at vetting people, making sure they show the proof, don't just call somebody out. And as you can see here, there's 32,000 members. That's pretty big, right? That is a big group of people. So the most ironic thing happened. One of the main guys that runs the forum had some kind of idea that he was going to razz his car. And that is I believe a 2013 Challenger RT. It's purple.
It's Barney purple.
Barney purple for those that are listening to this and not watching the show. If you're listening to this, once again, subscribe to Mojobreak Media on our YouTube. You can watch it. So it had 55,000 miles on it. And apparently somebody that owned it before this guy smoked in it. I mean, there's like really no reason a lot of people would want this card for the fact that it's pure gambling, what was going on. So for those that are saying, what's a Razz? Well, a Razz is a raffle. The reason they don't call it a raffle is because raffles are illegal. So they call it a Razz. So this guy basically put it on this scammer forum, which once again, just the irony of it all is the guy that runs the forum is doing something that's illegal on a scammer forum. So it was 2,100 spots, and it was $10 a spot, one winner. So one winner will win this card, which apparently Blue Book's at, I think, 15K or something, 15 to 18K. So you can do the math. He's taking in $21,000 on this car. It filled up. It actually overfilled. And then they also do a thing in the Razz industry, which we've never done one Razz in our life. You know, we never will, never have, never will. We never will do it. It's just we don't do that kind of thing.
Like a 7-Up?
Yeah, hell, never, without the Blue Notes, you'll never go platinum. But anyways, so he was doing an 80% buyback on this Razz, which means if you don't want this ugly-ass purple car, you can take the $16,800. So I think that's why people join, because I can't imagine people wanting this ugly car that has smoke in it. So it filled. And the irony of it all is that it's on the scammer forum. So not to make the story longer, you can find out the story for yourself. They ran the original random. They had 2,110 spots. They nominated a winner, and then they said they had to rerun it because apparently in the Razz industry, if you're off by one, it's a rerun. So a rerun.
Oh God.
So and then they hired
my worst nightmare.
Yeah, then they hired like some kid who supposedly they have what's called a video runner. I'm going to sound really dumb because I'm not familiar with the industry of razzing.
Get hip.
But they hired a video runner who was a kid to do it again, and he did it on a phone, and it didn't work. So there was like a second random that didn't work. So now at this point, it's a flaming S show on this forum. I mean, people are calling like this guy a piece of crap, blah blah blah. And like once again, remember the irony of it all is this is being conducted on a sports card scammer website. That's the fact that I can't get over it.
Not sports car.
Right.
Card with the
sports card scammers.
Yeah, man, you're confusing me right now. What are we talking about again?
So, a place that was about sports cards was razzing a car. Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, his story was he wanted to pay this car off and upgrade to the SRT model of the same year. So he was basically he's like I could trade this in for $16,000, but I thought this would be fun. So basically, I think it's 3 to 4 failed attempts at this Razz. He actually created another forum, and he's trying to still run it. And the comments are, if you have time, if it's one of those materials where you got something you look at on your phone when you're in the restroom. You know, a lot of people read stuff. This is one of those types of reads. There's 7,000 comments. It's like popcorn material of just people wanting refunds, people threatening stuff. It's just an absolutely crazy crap show. And this guy is still trying to razz the car after all this.
How did he mess up the first time? He just did it one too many times?
No,
he did 10 too many names.
10 too many names in there. There was 10. It oversold by 10 spots.
Why didn't he make sure of that before he ran?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of checks and balances that go, but the checks and balances are out the window. So
Bruh.
When I saw this for the first time, it was actually posted by the guy who was selling the car, and it said admin perk, which I was reading it, and I truly thought it was a joke. I was like,
Yeah, we thought it was a joke.
I'm like, you know what? I'm like, this is funny. This is funny. The guy's like mocking the whole like razzing thing. But then I found out it was legit. And I was like, this is going to be an absolute nightmare. I can't believe he is using 32,000 followers that he has accumulated over the 5, 6, 7 years that it's been around, the group has been around, to basically sell his car that has a lien on it.
Oh yeah,
So
that's one thing I didn't even
that's
mention.
one thing that you didn't mention. Now, I don't know the basically the logistics of having a lien. I don't know if there was a payday loan that sometimes they take the title of your car. I don't know if the lien was from the bank that originally owned it, but he didn't have the title in hand. Like, he actually doesn't even technically own the car. Word?
Yeah.
Word? Word.
Word.
Huh.
I mean,
He still had a lien on the car. Yeah, absolutely. So he said he was going to take the money and get the lien off the car and then give it to whoever won if they wanted the car. But I just say keep an eye out. I wouldn't be part of this forum anymore because obviously the validity of the forum is shot.
Okay.
There is no reason to be part of a scammer forum where the owner is scamming people. So a bunch of moderators jumped off. They didn't want any part of it. This guy is still trying to kind of resolve. He's like calling people names and stuff. And it's like, bro, just hide for 2 weeks, maybe a month. Like, don't razz your car. Just let it go. People will forget about it. But he's still trying to basically razz this car.
dude, first time you mess up, second time you mess up, just pick up your car and go home.
Right.
Pick up your toys and go home. You're done. You're done for the day. Don't run it. Just figure out another way. You know what? Sell the car like 100% of people who sell cars do it. Sell it privately or trade it in to a dealership. Like, this is not the way to sell cars. Imagine this, Doug. Imagine this, C-Rad. Say I owned a car dealership.
Mm-hmm.
Danderson's Car Sales. Think about it.
Has a nice ring to it.
You like it? You like it? I'm thinking about, setting that up. But think about if you can walk in as somebody who wants to buy a car and say, I'll take 10 spots on that car. I'll take 10 spots on that car. I'll take 10 spots on that car. And when you guys do the random, just give me a call and let me know I can just come pick up my car. Like, imagine if they could sell fractions of a car.
You can do with everything.
Just literally, you just
TVs.
You have a person in you have a person who's basically running, like, pulling out names out of a hat, like, hey, Jim, you just want a brand new truck, come down and pick it up. Like, imagine if everything was sold like that. Imagine if I can go to Best Buy and say, I don't want to pay $4,000 for this TV, but I will give you $40 for a chance to win it.
Right. You could just razz everything. The whole life would be razz. Like Daniel in the saying, he's going to razz a sandwich. Yeah, what if it became that? Like, Subway's just like, you can't afford the $7 footlong, but if you want to throw down 10 cents, we're gonna name a winner on lunch. You know what I mean? Like a whole life, like everything you do in your life could be a razz. And that's why gambling is illegal, because you got to protect people from themselves. And you just can't go about doing that. So if you read on the internet, I read it on the internet, that in most countries, including the United States, personal lotteries are prohibited. Only the government, not individuals or private companies, legally allowed to run lotteries. You can't run a raffle. Can't run a razz. It's illegal. And then you cross state lines, which is even weirder. You even have more problems. The only way you could run it is if you're doing something from charity and you get a special thing that says you have to go to your city or whatever you're doing it in your state and do it and get like some kind of thing saying, hey, I'm going to run a charity raffle. That's the only way you could do something like this. And this guy's basically saying that he was going to run the biggest raffle of all time on the internet. So, but we had some comments in the chat.
We do.
The second time, yeah, it definitely is. The second time it ran, a kid ran it. The third time it ran was in another room. Too bad the group was good too. They done messed that up. Yeah, and that's exactly it.
The group. I was just about to say that group was very helpful for a lot of people, bro. 32,000 people. Bro.
Can we confirm that it ran a third time and they still don't have a winner?
I haven't.
Yeah, there's no winner. He's actually still calculating making sure that all the spots are paid.
Stop running it.
As days go by, the people that are actually sticking with him are asking for refunds. So he's got like so many refunds to do that he's overwhelmed and he doesn't even know who he's in and who's not.
He should just refund everybody and just forget the whole thing, bro. Come on,
because he's saying he can go to a car lot and trade it in for 16 grand
with people's like time and money, bro.
I know, it's so crazy. So something illegal to begin with was absolutely an S show, and then he's still literally trying to do it. It's like, just give up, man. Go away for 2 months. Sports cards, just go away. Find a reality show to watch, and then come back in 2 or 3 months, and I guarantee you people will not be talking about it anymore.
People
but you're putting the heat on yourself.
It's so fresh that, like, you can't run it a third time. You can't run it a fourth time. You need to basically just own up to it, come out and say, look, that was dumb. I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have done that.
And people will respect that more.
And I'm going to give everybody a refund, and we're just going to sweep it under the rug and pretend like it didn't happen. Nobody will be out of any money, but just keeps on going. Just keeps
gotta really
digging,
sell that damn
digging
card.
the hole. Like, just let it go.
Yeah.
That tells me that he either one really needs that money. That's why he's not trying to refund everybody, and he still wants to run it. You know what I mean? Or two, he really trying to, like, you know, scam people out here.
The thing is that he keeps on saying that, like, well, people still want me to run it. Well,
I don't care.
That's fine. That's fine that people still want you to run it. You screwed up. So it's time to just let it go, cut your losses. And I know those people who still want you to run it, if you tell them, hey, because of how terribly this was run and how bad it looked, I'm just not going to run
think
it.
About this scenario.
And I'm guaranteeing they're going to be like, okay, just give me my money back, and that's cool.
Well,
like,
think about
we'll
this scenario. It is a random, right? Say the random is done correctly and the intentions were done well. What if, like, one of his friends win it? Just out of random, like, let's just say legit, his friend wins it. Like, how many conspiracy theories are going to develop at that point, right? Like, oh, this guy, like, I could see that they sell cards all day long, and all of a sudden he wins the car from him after the 5th random. Charge back.
Getting back to being attached to a dealership, like, what if I worked at a dealership and I was selling cars? And I was like, you know what? It's been kind of slow this month. I'm going to basically start a Razz room, and I'm just going to sell my cars, and I'll buy them, and then I'll just, like, give them to the person who won the Razz.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, if you work at a dealership, most dealerships will give you an employee discount on the cars. How do we know this person doesn't even work for a dealership or know somebody that works for a dealership?
Right.
I mean, if I was selling cars and I was able to raffle them off, I would be the top salesman by far at Danderson Automotive.
Exactly. You got to LLC that right now.